Picture this. A single penny, often overlooked, quietly becomes the star of an auction room, sparking heated bids that climb into the thousands. That humble copper disc you might find under your couch cushions could, in fact, be a time capsule of minting mishaps and historical quirks. Today's journey takes us deep into the world of a 2010 penny, whose modest appearance masks a fascinating story of errors, rarity, and unexpected value. We'll peel back layers of production history, inspect the tiniest anomalies that send collectors into a frenzy, and reveal how a coin once destined for pocket change can transform into a prized showpiece. Whether you've been chasing rare finds for decades or you recently stumbled upon an old jar of coins, this first chapter promises insights that will sharpen your eye and fuel your passion. Buckle up for a ride through mint records, auction highlights, and condition guides, all delivered in a friendly, enthusiastic style that feels like chatting with a fellow collector over coffee. By the end of this segment, you'll know exactly what to look for when you hold that 2010 penny between your fingertips, and you'll understand why seasoned collectors and curious owners alike suddenly find themselves inspecting every detail under magnification. Let's jump right into the story of coin number one and discover the magic hidden in plain sight. Shifting our focus to the 2010 penny brings us into an era of modern minting where quality control was tighter than ever, yet errors still slip through. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies that year, but a tiny fraction bears anomalies that elevate them from everyday change to collectible treasures. Our examination starts at the production line, steel cores plated in copper, fed through presses striking Lincoln's profile over the familiar wheat-free reverse. While the vast majority emerged flawless, a handful showed striking irregularities, off-center strikes, doubled dies, and incomplete copper plating. It is these rare misprints that captivate collectors, turning a coin once worth a mere cent into an object of intense desire. As we dissect the origins of these anomalies, you'll see how even modern minting can yield surprises worthy of dedicated scrutiny. To understand how the 2010 penny acquired its mystique, we need to rewind to the Mint's Philadelphia and Denver facilities that year. Both mints stamped out pennies on high-speed presses running 24/7 to meet public demand. Early in production, a misaligned die at Philadelphia caused a small run of pennies to receive an off-center impression, where Lincoln's bust drifted noticeably toward one edge. Meanwhile, a less obvious double die error occurred when a die received two misaligned impressions of the design before striking the planchet. These mishaps were rare. Mint inspectors caught most defects, but a few escaped into circulation. When even a handful of error coins slip past quality checks, they become instant highlights in any collection. Today, tracking down one of these misstruck 2010 pennies is akin to finding a needle in a haystack, an endeavor that rewards patience, sharp eyes, and the kind of detective work that longtime collectors relish. Spotting a genuine 2010 penny error requires a keen understanding of what normal looks like. A standard 2010 penny features a smooth copper coating over a steel core, Lincoln's profile crisp and centered, and the date and mint mark clear and unblemished. By comparison, an off-center strike shifts Lincoln's image toward the rim, sometimes exposing a crescent of bare steel on one side. Double die errors reveal themselves in subtle doubling of letters or numbers. Look closely at the 2010 date or the word Liberty for faint ghost images. Incomplete copper plating appears as silvery patches where the copper layer failed to adhere fully. Each of these defects carries its own rarity profile. Off-center errors over 5% are less scarce than extreme off-centers over 15%, while noticeable doubling on the die can range from barely perceptible to dramatic. Recognizing the precise variety is key, as collectors assign premiums accordingly. Auction houses have recorded some startling prices for top-grade error pennies from 2010. In 2023, a 2010 off-center penny with a 25% misstrike sold for $2,400, stunning both buyers and sellers who expected only modest interest. That same year, a near-perfect double die example graded MS-67 by a leading third-party service fetched $3,100, breaking previous records for modern penny errors. These figures underscore how condition and error severity combine to drive values skyward. Even more modest examples, say a 5% off-center strike in circulated condition, can command $50 to $100 among niche error collectors. Watching auction archives reveals bidding wars that unfold over days, with bidders poring over high-resolution photos to confirm every detail before raising paddles. Such results remind us that rarity and collector enthusiasm can turn a 1-cent coin into a high-stakes collectible. Condition plays a pivotal role in determining what a 2010 penny error will fetch. In mint state, where the coin shows no signs of wear and retains full original luster, values can jump by orders of magnitude. An MS-65 off-center error might trade hands for $500, while an MS-67 double die can reach into four figures. Once light circulation introduces small scratches or softens details, premiums diminish but remain significant compared to face value. A lightly circulated off-center penny could still sell for $75 or more, whereas a heavily worn example might sit at $30 to $40. Collectors often seek coins graded by recognized services because a numeric grade offers confidence in authenticity and condition. But even ungraded coins in top condition can attract private collectors who prefer to inspect pieces in person. Beyond plates and presses, the 2010 penny holds an intriguing place in modern numismatic lore. One collector recounts finding an off-center variety inside a roll of unsearched pennies from a bank vault, a discovery so improbable it felt scripted. Another story involves a dealer who purchased a mixed lot for face value, only to uncover a double-die piece, turning $1's worth of pennies into a windfall of over $3,000. These anecdotes travel fast on collector forums, inspiring a fresh wave of searches in pocket change and coin jars. Such tales highlight the thrill of discovery, reminding us that even in a digital age, tangible treasures await those who look closely at everyday objects. If you're thinking about hunting for your own 2010 penny errors, start by gathering circulated rolls from banks and local change jars. Use a magnifying glass or loupe with at least 10x magnification to inspect dates, mint marks, and uniformity of the copper plating. Pay special attention to the edges of the design. Off-center strikes often leave telltale gaps where the steel core peeks through. Keep an eye out for doubled letters or numbers. Any hint of shadowing warrants a closer look under stronger magnification. Sorting through hundreds of pennies may sound tedious, but seasoned collectors know that persistence often pays off. As you build experience, you'll train your eye to spot anomalies in a glance, turning what once felt like a chore into a rewarding hunt. Wrapping up our exploration of the 2010 penny, it's clear that this modern-era coin holds unexpected depth for those willing to examine it. A misaligned strike or a fleeting die, error transforms a cent into a valuable keepsake, bridging everyday life with the specialized world of numismatics. Whether you already own a 2010 penny or you're on the lookout in rolls of change, remember that knowledge is your greatest asset. Understanding mint processes, error types, and grading standards equips you to recognize and profit from the rarest examples. Soon, we'll turn our attention to the 2015 penny, where a different set of errors and market dynamics await. But for now, hold that 2010 piece under light, trace the contours of Lincoln's visage, and appreciate how a tiny imperfection can create extraordinary value. And now, let's swing over 5 years to the 2015 penny, another seemingly ordinary coin that hides a trove of compelling anomalies. If the 2010 piece taught us about off-center strikes and double dies in a modern minting context, the 2015 penny offers its own set of surprises, from die cracks to striking clashes. You might have pocketed one this morning without a second thought, yet beneath its bright copper surface lies a story of production quirks, collector fervor, and auction results that will make you pause next time you get change. Get ready to explore how a coin barely a decade old can command hundreds, or even thousands of dollars when the stars align just right. Back in 2015, the U.S. Mint continued using steel cores plated in copper for pennies, but subtle tweaks in die metallurgy and press settings created fresh opportunities for error. At both Philadelphia and Denver facilities, dies were pushed to their limits, producing millions of coins each day. Tiny fissures would develop in hardened steel dies, leading to die cracks that transferred onto the coins as raised lines or bulges. In other cases, a misfeed in the copper plating bath resulted in transitional blanks, planchets with uneven copper thickness or small flaking spots where the steel peeked through. Such production stage anomalies are inherently rare, because mint inspectors remove most flawed dies and reject visibly defective blanks. But the few that slip through the net become the holy grails for error enthusiasts. When inspecting a 2015 penny for die cracks, you're looking for fine raised lines radiating from the rim into Lincoln's portrait or across the reverse fields. These cracks can range from hair-thin striations, often missed by casual glance, to dramatic fissures that bisect the date or mint mark. Transitional plating errors appear as tiny silver-gray patches amid the copper glow, sometimes clustered near the rim or randomly scattered. A third error variety to watch for is the clash error. When a die strikes another die without a planchet between them, the resulting imprint transfers parts of Lincoln's profile onto the reverse device and vice versa. The clash marks show as ghostly images of the bust on the wheat stalk side, creating a surreal doubled portrait effect. Each of these error types carries its own collector niche and value scale. Auction records for 2015 penny errors have climbed steadily in recent years, reflecting growing interest in modern mint mishaps. In late 2024, a 2015 P. Denver die crack penny graded MS 66 sold for $850, an eye-opening amount for what most assume is pocket change. Earlier that year, a heavy clash error from Philadelphia with clear Lincoln impressions on the reverse, hammered at $1,200 in a specialist error coin sale. Even more modest examples attract attention. A lightly circulated die crack piece can fetch $100 to $150, while a small plating flake error in uncirculated condition often commands $200 or more. These values highlight how severity and condition interplay. A nearly flawless clash error is exponentially more valuable than a faint crack on a worn coin. Watching sales channels and specialist forums, you'll see passionate bidding as collectors chase the most visually striking and well-preserved specimens. Stories from the trenches of error collecting bring these coins to life. One dealer describes purchasing a junk roll of pennies for face value and spotting, under bright light, a tiny sliver of steel on a 2015 piece. That single flake turned out to be a transitional plating error graded SP 67, ultimately selling for $2,300. Another collector recalls borrowing a high-power microscope at a coin club meeting to examine a supposed clash error, only to uncover a complex network of die cracks instead, still valuable, but a different rarity type than expected. These tales underscore the thrill of discovery. You never know whether a coin jar or donation roll hides an unexpected treasure. And they remind us why experienced collectors keep magnifiers and strong lighting at the ready whenever coins change hands. Condition remains the kingmaker when pricing 2015 penny errors. In mint state, full, luster, and crisp details multiply values dramatically. An MS-65 die crack penny might trade for $300, whereas an MS-68 example can approach four figures if the crack pattern is bold and aesthetically appealing. Clash errors graded MS-66 or higher have achieved $1,000 to $1,500 when the ghost images are sharp and centralized. One circulation where appears softening Lincoln's cheek or dulling the wheat stalks. The eye appeal premium erodes, but many collectors still prize error visibility over condition. A heavily worn clash error will still command a premium of $75 to $125 simply because the anomaly is unmistakable. If you're on the hunt for your own 2015 penny errors, start by gathering unsearched rolls from banks or local retailers. Examine each coin under a strong LED lamp, tilting it to catch any glint of exposed steel or odd reflections on the surface. Use a 10x loop to scan the date and mint mark for hairline cracks or doubling. On the reverse, hold coins at an angle to reveal any ghostly bust impressions or plating thin spots. Sorting by eye takes practice. Initially, you might flag dozens of candidates that turn out to be false alarms. But over time, you'll sharpen your instincts, learning to distinguish genuine errors from benign scratches or planchet scuffs. Beyond raw error detection, understanding market dynamics can enhance your collecting strategy. Clash errors often attract more attention because of their dramatic visuals, but die cracks are more plentiful, making them accessible entry points for new error collectors. Transitional plating errors, though rarer, are less well known, so they can be acquired more affordably before their popularity spikes. Following specialist auction houses and online forums allows you to track which varieties are trending, what grades are most sought after, and how seasonality affects prices. For instance, mint state error coins often sell best in the fourth quarter when gift-giving and year-end budgets drive collector spending. Some of the most fascinating anecdotes involve unexpected provenance. A small-town museum once discovered a 2015 Clash error in its donation jar, an embarrassment that the coin had slipped past their volunteer counters. When it went to auction, the proceeds funded a local educational program, turning a minting mishap into a community benefit. Another story tells of a retiree using error coin hunting as a hobby to stay mentally sharp. Over 5 years, he amassed a collection of 150 error pennies, exhibited at regional coin shows to inspire newcomers. These human angles remind us that coin collecting isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about curiosity, history, and the connections forged around a shared passion. And with that, our deep dive into the 2015 Pennies world of errors and value comes to a close. You've seen how production quirks translate into collectible dramas, how market forces assign worth, and how condition shapes every dollar value. Armed with these insights, you're ready to hunt, identify, and appreciate the humble penny like never before. Whether you chase dramatic clash errors or subtle die cracks, remember that each coin carries a story, one that you can uncover with patience, tools, and a keen eye. Happy hunting, and may your next copper find be a gateway to a thrilling new chapter in your collection.